Welcome, owners of the Belinda. We're at Lake Powell, and you are part of the Belinda Corporation. So, this boat has been in, let's see here. So my wife's family's been a part of this boat for 27 years. I've been in this family for 10 years, and we've been on the Belinda ever since. So, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're a new owner, maybe there's some gee-whiz I might be able to show you. Here's some things about the Belinda, okay? There's some startups, some troubleshooting, and all that, okay? So the date is June 10th, 2022, and let's get into our boat, okay? To the Belinda, you'll jump on the front of the boat, and then there's a padlock on the sliding glass door, okay? And the code is, well, I'm not gonna say it on this video because someone's gonna find it. So, the code you'll find out later, okay? After that, that's my boy. And he looks like a clown.
Shut up!
So, this is under the back bunk. And this thing right here is your power, your main power. And we just leave it on all right there. So, off all, that runs all your powers.
You're doing great, Thor. Daddy, I love you.
Oh, good.
How about Addie? How great is the Belinda?
Yeah, this one. Dad, hey, Belinda is like, that's how.
No, thanks, bro. So, that's how you turn on your power. After that, so there's a checklist you got to do. And I'll get to that later. There's a checklist. It's got a checklist when you get on the boat. There's a checklist when you get off the boat. Okay. After that, sorry, I got fishing poles everywhere. Fishing poles on the side right there. Sorry, there's more fishing poles on the other side of the boat. So this is your battery charger. These are your house batteries. They are 6 volts, put together a 12-volt system. They need to probably be replaced. They're born in 18, but it's all right. So the terminals could be cleaned up. If I have a chance, I'll do that. So there's 4 of those. Test those before you take off. This is your battery charger. So it's in the box out here on the back. For this, leave it. I think I've got it going just about as good as I can. Me and the other owner, Stuart Smith. This will always turn on when the generator turns on to put a charge to your batteries. So just leave it how it is. It's on 12-volt test. We just left it on hold, 10 amps. That's all you really need. These batteries don't die very often, okay? Just close this. And this will always stay locked up. Okay? After that, you got your freezer, which you have to run your generator sometimes to cool it down. Okay? There is a grill. I don't like it. It doesn't work very good most of the time for us. Your engines are underneath here, and there are 2 batteries. They each have a 12-volt battery system. So, and they each have a fuel filter. I brought fuel filters this trip. I think we're the first trip this year, in case anybody needs them. If you are having a power issue with one of the motors or not starting, replace that filter first. So I left them here. I didn't change it because I didn't think they needed them, but they're here on the boat. After that, you got your generator up there. That's our gas tank, but that's your generator right there. It's got an electric start. Before you take off and use it, check the oil. The oil door is right there on the right side. There's a battery access panel. You shouldn't have to get into there. Make sure you, so your first motor's here, other motor's here for the boat. Check the oil in each of them before you take off. Since the boat didn't come out of the water this year, we didn't change the oil, but the oil still looks really clean, so we didn't worry about it. But yeah, that's about it. Real quick, just so everybody knows, there are extra parts here, random things, bulk kit, small tool kit. Over here we got our hoses, oil, water lines, paste, rope. That's your freshwater hose. You use that to fill the freshwater tank. We'll get that in a second. Right here on the back door behind the curtain Okay, there it is. I got it back. It fell down. So that's your attachment for your sewer pump out. Do not lose that. We'll go check that out in just a second. Your crescent wrench, and then there's a little tool back here so you can open your freshwater, which is over here. It's on your left side of your boat. Okay. Drinking water. You open that up, shove the hose in there, fill it up. When it's full, it'll leak out this weepy hole. Okay. Your sewer is right here. So you'll have hooked, so you'll spin that out with the crescent wrench, and then you'll put in your put on your adapter, then you turn on the machine, pump out your sewage, and then wash it out. Wash out the toilet too, and just get nice and clean before each owner comes down. And then that's pretty much it for this side. Up here real quick, like I said, you got your generator. We keep the gas up here. Just keep an eye on it. It's pretty good on fuel, but like I said, check the oil, it's right there. I've been working on the roof. I've been patching it. These are your toy tanks. They're 40 and 50 gallons, I believe. And they'll all be a combination lock, but you'll get the combinations later. What else? There's some chairs up here. We didn't get the canopy down this year this trip because we were in a cave the whole time, so we had shade the whole time, so it's nice. Your bedding boxes up here. My arm is messed up, sorry. So we just put our bedding in here, air mattresses, sleep bags, things like that. That toolbox up there has 2 pumps to pump out fuel from your toy tanks to a boat, smaller boat off the either side of the boat, okay? So that makes it kind of nice. So the electric pump in there, for some reason, quit working. I tried playing with it. I couldn't get it to work. These waves are killing me. Sorry. But the old hand crank in there works great. You just got to prime it sometimes. Flip that sucker upside down, prime with fuel, pump it out, pump, and it always works, so you're fine there. But the electric one is there. For some reason, I couldn't get to work, so I'll if I get around to it, I'll try and fix it. But all right, let's go. That should be it for up here. Check this roof real quick. That looks good. Okay. Sorry guys, there's a lot of stuff to get here just on the back of the boat alone. Okay? So another thing is not only your engines, but your tanks are here for those engines. Each tank is pretty big, okay? And it's right here. So when you go to the fuel docks, the keys are right here. They'll be in there by the oven, hanging on a hook, and they just unlock it. There's one on each side, and then I'll show you how you test it real quick. Come in here, back behind the behind this. Okay, so this right here is a little stick. It's a stick that I think my wife's grandfather kind of came up with. So that's your full mark right there. So all you do is for these tanks. Oh, hold on. All you're gonna do is fill, then you drop the stick down the hole like this, and then once that fuel mark comes up to the full line, you're full, okay? And that's pretty much it to it. Do it in both tanks, okay? And that's how you fill up your fuel. Just go by eyeballing it on the toy tanks. If you do use it, make sure you leave about a couple inches off the top of the fuel so it can expand. Otherwise you're gonna have a jet of fuels shoot out the top of your tank eventually someday. Try and be careful with that. In the back up here you also have some life preserver, a couple bumpers. There's more bumpers on the outside of the boat, but we've already used them. We use these cubbies just for storage, empty things, and yeah. So your water tank is underneath that bed that these guys are hogging, and yeah, that's what you have. In the closet, you've got things like shovels, sledgehammers, brooms, things like that. Bug spray, apparently. This is the bathroom. We don't use a shower much, but you can use it. The water heater, I've heard, does work, but you have to play with it a little bit, but we don't use it, so. That's about it on the bathroom. It's got lake water, fresh water, save your fresh water. Okay. Hey, Grant, you want to come to the bathroom with me, Grant?
Sure.
You. Okay, so, real quick, this is your toilet. And we usually do the seals on it every year. So here's your toilet. And this is the weird thing about this toilet. No matter how many times we put seals in it, it always seems to just stick it. So this is the secret to this toilet. So you see your foot symbol after you use it. You're going to push it down and then flick. Push it all the way down and then slide your foot off. And it will shut close. If you don't, and just do that, you leave the crack open, water doesn't pool up, and then your house smells like sewer. So make sure you flick it. You don't need to pull up on it, break it. Just stomp it down, slide it back. Okay? Someone already put a little sign up for you guys. But yeah, just flick it. Not that hard. Okay. I played with electrical this trip, trying to fix this switch down here, but I couldn't get it, so another time. You do have a microwave. Generator needs to be on to use it. These are the keys to your gas tanks, remote to your generator, so you don't need to go crank on it. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Still works. Drinking water is this side, for lake water is this side. We get lots of ice blocks, put them in coolers, and then when we need them, we put them in. We bring this from home, and then we just fill off fresh water in here, so we have cool water all the time. So when it comes to these motors, don't mess with the trim. That's your up and down. Don't touch it. Leave it how they are. We were stuck on the buoy this year because, our trip for 2 days because this motor would not go in the water. It was just up, and it was up so high we couldn't take the hat off to try and work on it. So don't touch the trim on the motors. We can worry about quagga mussels later. Don't touch the trim on the motors. We got lucky. Yeah, we were able to make it out. So don't touch the trim. As far as the throttle, it's up there up by the steering wheel. I showed you some pictures of it, like right now.
Jared, where's the ice cream?
So one of the cables, which is this port side motor, is stretched. So each throttle, there's throttle for each engine, and so the one on the left has to go further to match the RPMs of the other engine. So don't worry about that. One is going to be further ahead. Just watch your numbers. The optimal speed for gallon per hour ratio is 32 knots. That's it. No matter what the weather is, 32 knots. 32 each motor will get you the best gas mileage you can. Okay. Other than that, that's about it on these motors. Pretty easy. Just keep them in the water. Don't try pumping them up. Leave them alone. Yeah, your freshwater pump is under the bed with your freshwater tank. If you have issues with your lake water pump, it's underneath the sink. That's about it. And I'll show you kind of how we run our anchors real quick. This is your rope right here. That ties onto that cleat, and the rope runs all the way up there. And there's an anchor on the back side of that front of the boat. And what we'll do is we'll take the anchor and go off at an angle about like this, tie off to a big rock, and then pull in the slack using the motors, and then tie it off here. And that's how we anchor. And we've never lost the boat off the bank in a storm or anything. which we've been through some wicked stuff on this boat. Your propane tanks are right here. I don't know if they said they're not. We're done. We've done pretty good to get this by on one tank per trip per week. Top off your big tanks. If you use the toy tanks, top them off. The gas for the generator jug is right there. Make sure you top off the generator. Basically, if you use it, replace it. It's not that hard. All right. That's about it for now.